Natural History Museum. Monday 9 to 5, Tuesday 10 to 6, Wednesday 10 to 6, Thursday 8 to 4, Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 8:30 to 4:30, and Sunday 7:30 to noon. You are very welcome. Yes, okay. All right, you're welcome. Bye-bye. Bees of the genus Paranthidium are exclusively American. There's one North American species and 2 more in Central America. These bees are notable in that the females dig their own burrows. The single North American species was described in 1824. Thomas Say had just returned from an expedition to the headwaters of what is now the Mississippi River. In his account of the wildlife he observed was a bee he named Megachilidae jugatoria. Paranthidium jugatorium is a round black bee with yellow maculations. Like other anthidines, it is not very fuzzy, for a bee, but the females do have bands of hair on their sternites to allow the transport of pollen. The males have a similar striping pattern as the females, as well as beards of long pale hairs on their faces, and of course, since males don't build nests, they have no need to transport pollen like the females. Jugatorium is smaller than a worker honeybee. Both females and males are about 8 to 9 millimeters long. As I mentioned before, Paranthidium jugatorium digs its own burrow. Unusual for a bee? No. Unusual for an anthidine? Yes. Most closely related species make their nest cells in exposed locations or cavities they find. 77 years after Say, Theodore Cockerell and his wife Wilmot created the subgenus Paranthidium. In the same paper, they suggested elevating the subgenus Dianthidium to generic rank. 25 years later, in 1926, Herbert Schwartz, working at the American Museum of Natural History in New York, revised the genera Dianthidium, Anthidiellum, and Paranthidium, now recognized by him as a new genus, in North America. In this work, he would recognize 5 Paranthidium species, but mentions that it may be more appropriate to fuse these into one species with several varieties. Subsequent authors did, and now Jugatorium is viewed to be a single species with 3 valid subspecies. Before you can be sure of the identity of your specimens, you must first divide them into males and females. Paranthidium females have an incompletely yellow clypeus and a pollen scopa on the underside of their abdomens. For the males, look for the long pale hairs on their face. Very likely, you will have to differentiate Paranthidium from Dianthidium. If you observe the lower part of the middle tibia, you will notice Paranthidium has a broad, scoop-shaped concavity. Dianthidium and other closely related genera have no such concavity. This is not always easy to see, but if your specimen has this feature, you have a strong clue you have Paranthidium. Well, that should get you started. Good luck. As always, a special thanks go to the internet resources that make these videos possible, including the Biodiversity Heritage Library, Discover Life, and Iowa State University's Bug Guide. Look for them online. Thursday, 8 to 4.